What's up guys, Ryan here from Mud Gunner, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite rifle cases that I've been using for years now. And I'm going to show you guys some other ones too, but this is just what I use the most. And that brand is going to be Voodoo Tactical. Now they did not sponsor this video. Every case that you see right here I bought myself, but I bought it used. So I've never bought a new Voodoo Tactical bag. So yeah, Voodoo Tactical is just a case that I got familiar with like years ago. I bought my first gun in 2015 and I got really into rifles, and I'm really into rifles still. So I go to the range every single week as of right now. This last week I went 3 times in 7 days. So, and every single time I bring out rifles, I bring rifles to work every single day. So I use these cases pretty regularly. My main one is back here, which I'll show you guys in a minute. But yeah, that is going to be the main rifle case that I use. But I also have other ones as well, and we'll talk about those. But yeah, Voodoo Tactical just tends to be the main one I use. Now, if you are getting into rifles, or like shooting in general, right? A rifle case is really nice for carrying your gear. It could carry your rifle, it could carry your belt setup, which I have in here. You can carry handguns, mags, ammo. You can basically get away with a lot of stuff. You can fit chest rigs, soft body armor. You could probably fit a plate carrier in here too, but that'd be a little overkill. At that point, I would use like a backpack if you're trying to keep it low profile, because you can carry an entire loadout basically in a rifle case in a backpack, or a rifle case in something else. It's hard to get it all in one, but you can get pretty close. And I'm big into like go bags. I did a video on like AR-15 go bags where I use this case. This is my Haley strategic case. I do like this one as well. But yeah, with that case, I can fit a single rifle. I can fit my chest rig. I could fit soft body armor, some magazines. So you can basically have most of a loadout in there. It doesn't fit my belt setup, but yeah, you get the point. So I like using rifle cases, and I feel like a lot of companies, they make lots of pockets so you can add whatever you want. So this is one of the like main ones that I see a lot on the Voodoo Tactical. So on the center pouch, you have some pistol mag pouches. Right behind it, you have just a general pouch. On the side here, you have rifle mag pouches, specifically AR-15s. Like, let's be honest, that's the most common rifle. And these are really nice. Do I use this or utilize it all the time? No, not really. So that is where it gets tough for me, is since I go to the range with a designated purpose of like shooting YouTube videos and stuff, I really just use these for holding the guns, and I store my mags and ammo and other stuff in separate bags. So when I go to the range, there's a lot of bags there. And I like bags for different purposes too. So my main like pistol range bags, or just general like hold all my gear, like range bags, like eyes, ears, tool set stuff like that, I use 511 bags. My main rifle cases is Voodoo Tactical. And then at home, like storing my rifles on racks, pistols on racks, stuff like that, I use Savior. So there's a lot of great brands out there doing good things. This is just, again, we're mainly talking rifle cases here, but yeah, I use 511 for most of my pistol range bags, and then like my general purpose range bags. But yeah, and then I only do double rifle cases because I carry a lot of rifles to the range. Like, I think probably the most rifles I've ever taken to the range is 20. Now that is complete overkill, but when I do like Arizona Range Day or ZONA, my buddy's event that is actually in a few weeks, if you guys want to sign up, you can use the link in the description below. I'll bring a lot of guns out there because I like shooting a lot of stuff. I'll let other people shoot my stuff, so I think it's fun to bring a lot of rifles out. But yeah, so this is a double rifle case. It's got some pretty thick padding, which is nice. And then this one up here, it kind of goes over, so it'll protect from the top, the sides. The bottom is pretty well padded, and this in between is pretty well padded too. So I've never had issues with guns like really scraping each other in the bags, or anything like falling out, being torn. I don't think any of my Voodoo Tactical bags have any tears in them, which is really impressive, especially considering some of these are really old. You'll notice this one looks a little newer. I like these ones, and I feel like this is the main one, but I actually don't use these ones as much, even though you see like 3 of them here. So there's a 36-inch. This one should be the 42-inch, and the reason why I would use both is the 36-inch is great for 16-inch rifles and below, or suppressed like 10-inch rifles, SBRs, pistols, stuff like that. So these are what you would normally use for ARs. These are what you would normally use for bolt actions, shotguns if they fit, other stuff like that. Like I fit my Benelli shotgun, which is a little bit longer, and some of these, and some of them I have to have the barrel just slightly out because the gun's too long. Or if I bring out like my milsurp stuff, like some bolt actions, are just too long, but I still want them as protected as possible. So I use these cases. I might just leave one side open and then kind of cover them. But yeah. Another thing is when I bring out my Barrett M82, that gun's pretty heavy and long, but it breaks into 2 pieces, and I don't have the Pelican case for it, which is fine because that thing takes up a lot of space. And holding a single Pelican case that weighs like 40 pounds in one hand, it's kind of annoying. But what I do is I'll split my Barrett up into 2 of these bags because it makes it way more manageable holding it in 2 hands. And then on top of that, I can fit other rifles in there too, because these are the 42-inch ones. And like this style of Voodoo Tactical case is the one I like a little bit more for just like constant use of just storing guns. If my sole purpose is storing guns, I like these ones a little bit more because they're a little bit thinner. So you'll notice it's pretty flat when nothing's in it. And this thing has been crushed lots of times. These ones, they get flat, but obviously those pouches are a little bit thicker. So storing these, I just store them all stacked on top of each other. And then same thing within my car, like I'll have like 3 or 4 of these cases in there. And then with this one, it has this really big pouch right here. And I can store like side folding stuff in there, or like my Serbu Super Shorty shotgun. I can fit my SIG Rattler with the stock folded in here. So this pouch works as like a third rifle pouch. But then you also have these pouches for pistols. So one on each side, you can store a pistol in there, which I have over here that I'll show you guys. So yeah, that's the main ones. I have a black one right here. I have this camo one. And then we have that one, which is the little bit nicer looking one. And you can hold more stuff, more organized in there. But yeah, those are the main ones. Now, as far as pricing goes, I just looked this up on like Amazon and stuff. These cases range from about 150 to 175 bucks, which is a lot of money. Now, as far as like a baseline of that, right? Like if you want to buy something cheaper, I actually have a cheaper option right here. This is a Savior rifle case. This one is $85. There's like a less expensive one that's like 70 bucks. Now, with that being like 150 to 175, that's like twice the money. Is it worth it? Well, I can tell you just from a couple range trips on this that I don't feel like the quality is as high as that. Now it's still thick padding, like it's actually thicker, and this does not store as well. Like you'll notice it's a way thicker case, just the way they have it built up. That's not a problem if you just have like 1 or 2 of these things, but with me having like, I mean, I probably have like 20 rifle cases. Like this isn't everything. I have like my HK ones, which only hold a single gun, even though they're like that, they're nice, but I need double rifle cases. I have some other ones, and I've also phased out a lot as I get more of these. Yeah, I like having a little bit thinner ones, but these Savior bags are really thick. You get a lot of options. You get shoulder backpack straps, you get the handles, you get the 2 handles right here, which I like. You can store the straps in here. On all of these, I took the straps off, like the backpack straps and shoulder straps and stuff, because I just use the handles. This one I have not taken them off yet. But with this one, in a very short amount of time, you'll notice there's a tear right here, and this foam is already coming out of here. So I've definitely taken this to the range less than 10 times. It may only be like 2 or 3 times, but yeah, you'll see the foam is coming out, and that is with very minimal use. And this case came with one of my rifles. I bought a Type A Gordon carbine, so a brand new gun. It ships in a brand new Savior bag. So this one was brand new when I got it, but you'll see it just quickly tore. Now, if I reach out to Savior, I do believe they'll replace it for me. My friend Danny, who's been on the channel a bunch, she had one of their, I think it was a pistol bag, and one of the pouches tore. And she reached out to them and they replaced it for her, no problem. So I do believe if I reached out to them, they'd probably replace it or fix it. I mean, I would assume they just replace it because it's cheap enough. But yeah, for 85 bucks, knowing what I know now, 85 on this versus 150 on that, is it worth paying like, you know, almost double? I would say in my case, yes, because I use them so often. Like the fact that I've only used this a couple times, if I continue to take this, that's going to continue to tear. And it might tear in other places too, I don't know. But yeah, it would be worth it to me because of how often I shoot. If you're only going to shoot once a year, twice a year, yeah, maybe you can get away with just the $85 one. They also have a $70 one that doesn't have as fancy of pouches in the front. It'll just have like 3 pockets. You can get away with that $70 one on Amazon. But yeah, for me, with how high use I use it, I would say I need the nicer one. And then I would worry about the zippers tearing, because I definitely weigh these things down too, just holding a lot of guns. But yeah, I do like this Savior bag. I'm not saying it's bad. Again, I use their rifle rack, I use their pistol rack, I have their pistol range bag. All of those work fine, no tears. I actually have another one here that I bought. This one is really cool. I don't have a high round, or I don't have a lot of experience with it. Like I've only had it for a couple months now, but this kind of just goes in the car. I don't really take this to the range because it only holds 1 gun, but it's a really cool bag. And my I have a 4Runner that's all topoed out on the inside, so the topography is like the looks here. But yeah, it's a really cool bag. I don't have enough time on it to, you know, notice any issues. But this one's like a $150 bag, and it holds a It holds a 10-inch rifle pretty well with a side folding stock, without a side folding stock. It's got this pouch over here, this area. So this one's really cool. So I do like what Savior puts out. I just have the issue with the one case. And I have the 42-inch version of this too. It's just at my work right now holding a SCAR 20 that I'm buying because it came in without a case. So yeah, I do plan on still having Savior bags. I'm not saying, oh, that one tear is gonna make me never own from them. But yeah, I'm just talking high use stuff for me. I use the Voodoos. Now I will show you 2 loadouts that I've done here. So these front pockets, these are empty, but this is just an example of what you can do with a double rifle case in general. So in here, I have my belt loadout. So fully kitted out belt with my pistol, pistol mags, knife, rifle mag. So you have a belt loadout right there. And then I have a suppressed 10-inch Mark 18 with a mag in it. Now 30-round mags are not gonna store nicely in here in the gun, but you can get away with the 20. So, and you see, like these on all my Voodoo bags, none of them have ever torn. But yeah, so 10-inch Mark 18 or AR in general. This one, just 20-round empty mag. And then it's got a law folder, which I can store it in there without it folded, so that's fine. And it actually makes it a little bit more flush. But yeah, so it stores my belt nicely, stores the gun nicely, and I could have still put more stuff in the front pockets. So that's one example. Now let me get this out of the way. Limited on space here. And I'm pretty like, I end up having to be rough with some of these zippers because I have to put a lot of stuff in there, specifically with something like this that has a lot more in it. But I'm pretty rough with the zippers and I've never had one break. But I've never had any of my zippers break on the rifle cases. Stick that down there. Stick that down there. All right, now here is another example. Now this thing weighs a good amount of weight. So this is the one I use the absolute most. It goes with me to work every single day. Every single day it gets a different rifle in it because I just like bringing rifles to work. I will say there's no tears in it. I'm starting to see like fuzz creeping through on these zippers. So the corners are a little worn, but they're not torn. The bottoms, because these get set on the ground at my work, get set on the rocks in the desert. Yeah, there's been no tears, no nothing. One time, this is bad. One time I got home from shooting and I had to quickly leave. All my stuff were still in these Voodoo bags. And I couldn't like take them out and put them in the safe right away. So what I did was I stuck like 3 of these Voodoo bags in my shower behind the curtains because I'm like, no one's gonna go look for guns in the bathroom. I came home later that night, I turned on the shower, and then I like got distracted. 10 minutes went by and I went back in and I was like, oh my gosh, all the rifle bags were still, or all the rifle cases were still in the shower and the water was on for like 10 minutes. And I turned it off, got them out. And the rifles, I mean, they were a little wet, but it was kind of minimal. Like it kind of reflected a lot of the water off. I'm not saying it's completely waterproof, so don't drop it in the ocean or anything, but it did help prevent them from getting fully submerged in water. So this one right here, I have 2 16-inch guns. I have my HK MR556, and then I have my HK MR762. And again, this one has the absolute most use on it. I've had this one for years and years. There's no tears in here, and I've never actually fully examined these. I'm just looking right now. There's no tears in here on this side. And you have the little Velcro straps to hold them in place good. Got my HK MR762. Now you'll notice this one, it's a tight fit in there. Like I had to wedge it and it's pushing against that. But still, no tears. Like, you see how tight that is? So, no tears, it held it up just fine. And yeah, the inside is pretty good. It gets dirty from being in the desert a lot. And then the front here, so I could squeeze a like side folded rifle or pistol or subgun, whatever in here. I normally keep cleaning supplies because sometimes while I'm at work, I'll do a quick wipe down on dirty guns. In here, I just stuck some pistols right now. We have the HK45. This one is set up to be suppressed. And then on this side, we have an HK USP9. So, not left-handed, but that works. So, yeah, you can store pistols in there. And then in the front, this is how I generally use these front pockets, is just for magazines, especially when I go to work. I normally bring a loaded mag and an empty mag. Empty mag for if I'm like showing it, and loaded if, you know, something happens, but that loaded mag right there. And then on the side, I have my MR556 mag. So yeah, I mean, this is just, again, what you could do with these cases and how I utilize them. So this is like realistically how I do it. Or if I'm going with like maybe 2 or 3 rifles in my battle belt, I'll do exactly what I did with that one, where I store my belt in the rifle case because it's easier than just throwing it on top of like the stuff on my car. So I can get everything I need for like a shooting match, something like that, just stuffed into 2 of these bags, and it makes it pretty nice. I also have this like off-road wagon that my girlfriend got me. So with that, we'll normally put a canopy in the bottom, we'll put our chairs in the bottom, and I'll store these 2 rifle cases on top, and I'll just wheel that thing around, and it makes it so convenient to just have everything stored properly. So that is what I like using, is Voodoo Tactical cases. There's a lot of other great options, obviously, but this is just mainly what I use, and you guys see. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this was a little helpful. I have like a little hair right here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video.